We should start.
Trains.
Trains.
Trains. That should just be my intro. Trains.
Hey guys, we're gonna talk about trains today.
Please don't do that voice, either of you. Whatever you do.
I'll just be that kid from Polar Express.
Oh, the one with the glasses.
Do you know about this train?
Hey guys, welcome back to Interior Analysis. I am Angel Michelli.
I'm Evan Westman.
I'm Jelani T. Kelly.
And welcome to our episode on Train to Busan, which is my pick and my favorite zombie movie ever. Which is weird because I only watched it a couple of years ago. This is a South Korean zombie movie directed by, let me see if I can pronounce this correctly, Yoon Sang-ho, and written by Park Joo-suk. Yeah, it came out in 2016. It stars some big South Korean stars that are pretty big over there. Yeah, it's a pretty simple movie. A lot of fun. I first watched it, I believe, back in like 2020, something like that. I'm just kind of guesstimating here, but I feel like I watched it near the beginning of the pandemic. And yeah, it's a really, like, it's just
a heck
good.
of a time to watch it.
I know, right? Well, I mean, what else was I going to do but sit at home and watch zombie movies about being trapped in an enclosed space? You know, it was like being home. It's really good. It's got really great zombie action, very reminiscent of World War Z, which has, like, you know, the whole pile up zombies thing. So I think I saw that in the trailers, and I'm like, this action looks really cool. I'm going to check it out. And then I watched it, and then I cried for days and days and days, because as good as it is, it's also incredibly sad and emotional. The score hits you, the character arcs hit you, everything is just terrible and sad, but also it makes you want to watch it again. So yeah, I really like it. And honestly, what I love about it too is it uses its premise really, really well without feeling limited by it. We're gonna get into it a little more later on with some of the topics, but yeah, what did you guys think?
I saw a kill count on this, surprise, years ago. I only remember the fact that the girl and pregnant lady are the only ones that lived. But other than that, I'm a first-time watcher. That was intense. There were moments where the action declined, not in quality. I'm just saying, like, there was a lull.
They dialed it
from
back.
The action. Yeah, from the action.
Yeah.
And so the audience could, like, remember to breathe. But usually they were still surrounded by zombies. Also, I'm glad the kid called them zombies. There's nothing more in zombie movies I usually hate more than... There are two things. When somebody hides the bite, which they didn't do except for the first person that got everybody on the train infected. And when they don't call them zombies. Everybody knows what they are.
Yeah. Well, that wasn't hiding the bite. They didn't know what was going on yet, honestly. It was just like that, like, they show the bite, and you know it's a zombie movie, like, you know what's going on. So, they kind of overcame that trope a little bit.
I'll allow it. Most of the deaths of the main cast could have been avoided, if not for one man. But I think that speaks to real life as well. That's how I read it. So I was more than fine with it here. Especially the guy being a COO. I think that was intentional. I mean, and also the biotech company was responsible for all the deaths. So, the best zombie movie, hard to say. I don't really care for zombie movies, I realized. Once I looked them up, I was like, I don't like any of these. Most of them. But I'd put this up there. I did enjoy this. But if I had to pick my favorite, I'd say the first Zombieland. That's all I have for now. I have a couple more initial things, but I'm going to let Evan go.
Yeah, I'll see you on very good zombie movie, but my number one would be Shaun of the Dead. But I'll even, like, yeah, but I like that because I'm an Edgar Wright fan more so than, like, I don't know that it's a better zombie movie than this. It's a better movie to me. Like, as zombie movies go, I think this is the best one. Like, I'm not going to fight anyone on calling it that. This was my second time seeing it. I first saw it a couple of years ago, and I'd heard it hyped up a bit before then. They were like, oh, this is like a good zombie movie. Like, it does things better. And I remember being kind of underwhelmed. I vaguely remembered coming into this I remembered the two people that survived. I remembered that, like, you know, the dad sacrifices himself. And then I was like, okay, there's something in here that irritated me first time, but I couldn't remember what it was. And then I turned out to be right, because it's when the curly-haired old woman opens the door to let all the zombies in. After her sister
defending
died.
that part.
I am too.
I like it.
That's the best moment in the movie.
Yes.
Second best
those
moment.
Passengers. Mob mentality. They got the best character killed in the husband dude. I'm not going to try and say anybody's name because I don't want to butcher it.
They don't say their names a lot either, so no. I don't think it's going to, like, I don't
Except
think
the kid's name.
Yeah, Suwon's the only one I remembered.
Yeah, there's Suwon. Seokwo is the main character. I know that. I have a list here just to make sure, like that.
Yeah, I'm looking at the cast, and I don't remember a single one of these except for Suwon being actually said in the movie.
Yeah, well, they say Suwon a lot. I feel like the rest of the characters, they don't really say them a whole lot. Like, I had to look up a lot of these characters' name. Yeah. Yeah, some of that might even be the translation, too.
It might, but also, like, in this kind of movie, like, you're really gonna just remember them no matter what name they have or what language it's in. It's always gonna be Blue Jacket guy, the main dude, COO guy, straight-haired old woman, curly-haired old woman.
They're all very distinct characters.
We also don't know the actors either, so we can't go off of their names.
That's very true. Yeah, I do know some of them from some places. Like, I know the main guy, I think he was in the first episode of Squid Game also. Like, he had a cameo in that, and he's been in other stuff.
Yeah, he was the guy who sells the dude the thing, isn't he?
Yes, yeah, he is. I'm pretty sure that's him. And then the big guy, the guy with the pregnant
Eternals.
wife, he's in Eternals, which I forgot about, because I know he's been in, like, a couple of other projects
Gilgamesh.
that I've seen. Yeah, but he's Gilgamesh, yeah. I'd forgotten he was in that, because I've only seen Eternals once. I did notice when you guys were picking favorite zombie movies, actually, you both picked zombie comedies, and I think that's interesting. I feel like a lot of people do that. Because it's such a... I don't even want to say oversaturated genre, because I still love it, but it's hard to do it this well anymore. Because it's very easy for it to veer into, like, very standard territory. You know, since The Walking Dead started in, like, 2010... it's very easy to get a lot of, like, clones of that. You know, it's very hard to, like, differentiate it, which is weird because there's actually a lot of really cool zombie things that are, like, that don't need to be straightforward zombie things. Like, there's ways to do this genre well. Like, there's a movie I like called Warm Bodies, where it's, like, a zombie romantic comedy. You don't like that one? No. You don't like that one? No. That's totally fair. I liked it. I liked that they tried something different. It doesn't always land, but I think it mostly works.
Ooh, actually, that's reminding me of another good one, Life After Beth, with Aubrey Plaza and our favorite boy, Dane DeHaan.
I love that movie. I love that
that's
one.
A hidden gem.
Did you just say our okay.
Our favorite boy, Dane DeHaan.
Yep.
Our favorite boy. Yeah, no, our favorite boy. What are you talking about, Jelani?
He's actually incredibly well cast in it too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because he's like about to break up with Aubrey Plaza at the beginning of the movie, and then she becomes a zombie, and he's like way more into her. And I was like, Dane DeHaan is like somebody I can actually buy having that kind of reaction.
Doesn't he have another love interest in that too? Though, like, isn't Anna Kendrick in there also?
I think yeah. But
and then that's his other love
much.
Interest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but he's like, nah, undead Aubrey Plaza is who I'm going with. I might put that on the list. That's a fun one.
It's really good.
I like the OG Night of the Living Dead. I saw that for a horror movie class, and I liked it.
Ooh,
with Sidney Poitier.
Got you.
I've never seen the whole thing, but I've heard that is one of the better ones. I mean, it's kind of like the father of the genre too, in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Where do you guys stand on 28 Days Later, by the way? Because I watched it. I watched it. I was so excited because I heard it's so good, but then I watched it, I'm like, this is okay. I enjoy it. I think it's a good movie. It's definitely one of those overhyped ones. Like, I've seen Running Zombies by this point in other movies.
Including this.
I've seen that opening because that's the opening of The Walking Dead also, which obviously it did take from 28 Days, but still. Yeah, no, it did.
Am I thinking of 28 Weeks where the father abandons his kids?
Probably, because I haven't seen that.
That's a sequel, I think.
Yeah, that one has Robert Carlyle in it.
I think 28 Weeks has Jeremy Renner and Rose Byrne.
It has a lot of people in it. surprisingly.
And Idris. I think Idris is in it.
Idris is in it?
Pretty sure Idris Elba's in 28 Weeks Later.
That's crazy. This is just turning into a general zombie discussion.
Yep, General Stone.
It's good, though, because I think it speaks to what, for me at least, makes this movie work. And it's that it takes the time, it doesn't overcomplicate the story by adding in, like, try to make it like, oh, these zombies can, like, breathe fire or teleport or something stupid, like, and they don't, like, overcomplicate it. They just make it like, you've seen zombies, there's running zombies now because those are scarier, they're gonna pile through the train, it happens too quickly for anyone to do anything, and it's just chaos right away, and then you also have a nice set of, like, character arcs and emotional through line throughout the entire thing. Like, it just works really well for that reason.
I really like how they're not tearing people apart, because out of most of the zombie movies I've seen, they probably die in the least horrific ways, and not the most the least horrific ways, but in comparison to a lot of other zombie movies, they're not getting, like, torn apart, or in Shaun of the Dead having their stomach reached into and pulled apart as they get dragged out of a window. You know, they're just getting their neck torn, and that's kind of it. And then once they turn, they stop and move on.
Yeah,
like,
it's not overly gory
right.
for the most part. Like, they don't lean into it too much. Which, oddly, I was rewatching The Walking Dead recently. I forgot how gory those first few seasons really are. Like, AMC was allowed to do a lot of shit before they were on everybody's radar. The amount of blood and guts and everything everywhere is just insane. And they stopped doing it after, like, season 5 or 6 because the show had way too many eyes on it and they couldn't, like, work around the guidelines anymore.
Before we get too far away from, like, talking about zombie movies generally, I don't know why it took me until this movie to really appreciate it. I just want to shout out, like, every zombie actor ever, both in this movie and others. Mm-hmm. Like, it's never, like, a performance that you think about because they're basically extras, but, like, they're so good. Like, that seems like such a hard job, and, like, at least everyone in this movie, and I can't think of a bad zombie performance I've seen. Like,
there are people that train them too. Like, there are creature actors, and they'll get the group together, the group of, like, background people together that are playing the zombies, and tell them how to act and how you would react in this situation. Like, it's crazy. But yeah, I
like,
thought
the
about that.
The physicality is nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to contort your body and all this stuff, and all the voices hurt your throat a lot.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was just like, there's a lot of, like, guttural noise. It's like, I don't know if that's a lot.
Back in college, I did something like this. I was a zombie in, like, one of those horror haunted house things, and it was a lot. Like, I had to keep falling on the floor whenever the survivors came in, and it was concrete. And I remember I was like, I've never felt that sore as I did after that, and I lost my voice. I think, like, it was a lot.
Yeah, but none of it. I don't know how you could ever ham it up as a zombie, because they're, I guess, hammy in nature.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
nobody, like, outshined anybody else. We're just like, this is my moment to be a zombie. It was just like, nope, that's another zombie. I thought about that while I was watching. I was like, could I do zombie? I mean, I could, of course, but would I want to? I don't know.
And even, like, there's a few actors, like, because of course in any zombie movie you need people of the main cast to get bitten. Mm-hmm. And I feel like most of the people who do, I was thinking, I think the transformation we see the most is the teenage girl, and, like, she commits really, like, she's, like, jerking her limbs all around weird.
Oh yeah.
Like,
the first one, yeah.
And that yeah, and, like, we never see
just everyone.
Yeah, and, like, we never see her,
does.
like, regularly acting, but, like, just when she sits up and, like, the neck is cracking too.
I was like, you didn't hear that?
I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, you can't hear what's going on behind you? That's crazy.
You guys are thinking about the first one. I'm thinking about the one who transitions later. Baseball player's friend.
Oh, Jin Hee, I think her name is, yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of thought maybe you were talking about that one, but then I was like, no, maybe it's the first one.
I mean, shout-outs to both of them. That she's just somebody we see a before and, like, a little bit of after with.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who of the main cast, like, of the main group, do we really see, like,
it's pretty much her
turned.
and the COO.
Yeah, that's it.
That's pretty much it, yeah. And with the COO, like, he's just kind of,
Oh
he's
no,
acting like himself until, you know.
husband. Blue
Well,
Yeah,
we
but
don't
we
see
don't.
him.
He doesn't really do much as a
Yeah.
zombie after he turns. Like anyone else that turns is just kind of like absorbed into the mob.
That was something that I kind of liked because I think he's my favorite character in the whole movie.
I mean, how could he not be?
This guy, like, I feel like he's everyone's favorite character. But I like that they had him sacrifice himself so that he could save them. But what they did was they had the whole horde overwhelm him, and we didn't have to see him like turn and like become part of that horde like we do with a lot of other people. Like the side characters that get turned, like all the train passengers and the conductors and the attendants and stuff like that, we see all of them turn and then start attacking people, but we don't have to watch him do that because I think that would be a little bit too much. Like I like that he just kind of gets absorbed and we never have to see him like, because I feel like in a lot of these we'll see them like, oh, they go after the people they love because they're not there anymore, but we don't have to watch him like try to eat his wife. I appreciated that they held back on that. I think that was the right choice, like emotionally.
Well, except with the older sisters.
But we don't see her attack anybody either.
Yeah, she's kind of docile, isn't she?
Yeah.
She's not even snarling. She's just like standing there.
Yeah. I felt so bad in that moment too. Like I really felt for the sister because like they got separated fairly early, I feel like, and then she couldn't even tell her sister that she loved her and missed her, and
well, I was rooting for her to open it. I was too invested in her opening the door to kill everybody in that car. So, also, stupid move, by the way. Why would you let them past you, and now you're the buffer between the people who you think are infected and the actual infected?
I was thinking that too. It's like, we're banishing you. You're going to timeout in the safe spot.
Yeah. No, exactly. Well, I think by that point, they couldn't open the first door because I think the zombies were already there, right?
Yeah, the way you can justify it, I think, is that they all think, oh, these new people might be infected, so we're going to quarantine them, even though like they've been there long enough at that point. That's a mechanic that kind of works nicely for this one too, and they are a little inconsistent with it, but like the transition to zombie goes pretty quick in most cases. It's not like you have 10 minutes.
There's no time to hide a bite.
Are you? Yeah, exactly.
No, there isn't.
It'll show up. Like, they draw out the COO longer.
And the husband. And the husband.
Yes, they draw them out.
The two of them they do, and that's actually what I like. They have very consistent rules, but they draw them out at times when it makes emotional sense. And I think that works really well. And it's usually
one bite ones, because I think there's a couple cases where somebody turns fast, but it's a multiple bite case. So, like, I can just kind of buy the logic of, okay, like, if it's a poison thing, there's, like, more zombie juices going in your bloodstream, you'll transition faster.
Yeah, I think Cheerleader got bitten multiple times on the leg, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably, yeah. And they don't take the time to over-explain it either. Like, you kind of get it from that first initial person. Like, you can see that she got bit, and then she got turned, and then everybody starts turning, like, really, really, really fast. So it kind of makes sense that they have no time to, cordon off a car or get away. They establish the rules with the sight too, where if it's dark they can't see you, but they're still drawn by sound, so there's like ways around it. They get creative with it.
The only knock against that I found a little strange is, okay, they're relying on sight, okay, and they're also relying on hearing. So what about smell?
I'm wondering if they can smell, because I don't know. Like, or how well they can smell.
I think you can just justify it as, like, I mean, take A Quiet Place as a comparison. Like, if you isolate it to one sense, like, you can get away with that. And I feel like it's okay that we just say sight and hearing. Especially because smell doesn't really translate cinematically very well. So, like, you're keeping it within the medium. Like, logically, I hear you, Jelani. Yeah, maybe, like, in a scientific sense, they could smell. I think it's just a cleaner mechanic to say that they don't.
I don't want to take Quiet Place as a comparison, so no.
That's fair.
I'm just saying that
isn't the fairest comparison because it's not a zombie movie.
It's aliens, it's like a whole other. Yeah, but I get you. Also, if you think about it too, like they don't really establish, like the zombies don't seem to have like super strength or anything. Like they seem like they're just as strong as people. It's just because they clearly don't feel pain. And they don't die, like they're just coming at you as like a horde. Like, there's nothing really stopping them or making them hesitate. So, like, if it's dark, I'm gonna hear everything, but I'm not necessarily gonna, like, be able to smell somebody I'm looking for, you know? So if they have, like, regular human senses, it kind of makes sense.
They don't really kill them, do they? They're just
I
knocking
was
them
thinking
out.
that too. They don't kill anybody.
This is a gunless zombie movie.
There's no blades either. No blades.
Yeah, they
They're
don't
using
kill
blunt
anybody.
objects. They're fists and bats and batons.
Yeah,
Huh.
that's all they have. I'm glad there was a baseball team on board, honestly, because they
Yeah,
actually
luckily.
they did pretty well for a while until they
Yeah,
didn't.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which
the
was
ones
like
that weren't infected initially.
which was like really really sad. One thing that I thought was hilarious too. I'm a little confused because like the baseball kid, Young Gook, his girlfriend comes in to hang out with them. He seems really embarrassed by that, and I'm very confused as to why.
I didn't think they were together. I thought she just had a crush on him and
That's
was
what
like
I
messing
thought
with him.
too. But everything I see listed as they're together, so I'm like, did I read this wrong?
Unless there's a mistranslation, like
That's what I was thinking, maybe.
the way it showed up in my subtitles, it's like she's into him and he's just like, whatever, I'm gonna put in my headphones and
Yeah.
be a teenage
When they're all
boy.
yelling except her, I've heard that's
Mhm.
like one of the worst translations of like, yeah, that's it's not what it means. Like it's the closest approximation they had.
I googled. I hope this didn't put me on a list. I googled does South Korea have strict gun laws, and Google said yeah. It's more badass that they don't use guns to defend the zombies, but at what point would they realistically be infected? You know, because like your arms are wrapped up, sure, but you're punching them in the face with your bare hands. So,
Yeah, I think that's kind of like a rule of cool thing personally. Like the fact that they are show because it's a movie, you have to like suspend disbelief a little bit. So the fact that they are wrapping their arms up is like, okay, they're taking a precaution. I can buy this. Now, if I were him, I would have wrapped up my entire arm,
right.
like all the way up to the shoulder, basically. But
But just to the forearm kind of looks cool. And isn't that like I forget which country. I think it's a Muay Thai thing, isn't it?
mhm.
Where they wrap up to the forearm. Or is
Yes,
it?
that's what Daredevil has actually. Those
Yeah.
ropes on his arms, they're Muay Thai
Yeah.
ropes. They wrap all the way up the forearm, and that's like a thing. And they wrap like around the fist too, which I think if he had wrapped around the fist, it would have logically been better,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Which is like, but this is still fine.
Also, I thought in the bathroom when the dad was washing his hands, I saw a couple of cuts, and I thought those were like tiny. One of those might have been like tiny bites. But
Yeah.
they
Nibble.
weren't. Yeah.
They make it
It's
really
like a tooth.
obvious when they get bitten, though.
A tooth grazed him.
They make it really obvious when they get bitten though. I think and so I think it's like if they haven't made it very clear that like they take a moment and they show you the husband getting bit on the hand by the one in the door, you know for sure, okay, he's bitten. Like there's never any doubt, which is why that ending scene where they're like, "Oh, all of you have to go to the safe spot away from us." We all know clearly that they're not infected, and these people should also know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But at the same time, too, because I was watching part of this with my parents, they came in for like the last 75% of it, and they're like, wait, but they're clearly not. And I'm like, yeah, but if you think about it, in this situation, you don't know all the zombie rules. This just happened like an hour ago. They've only been here for a little while, so you really don't know how fast he can spread. Like, you haven't had the time to like really examine how this goes. Like, also, I'm wondering, too, a lot of them probably were in that last car and haven't seen a lot of people turn yet.
Oh, you mean turn by just
Yeah,
being
yeah.
bitten, not overrun and...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they haven't
like,
seen the like how fast it goes.
Yeah, which is also like it's part of what I want to get into with some of my topic with the themes of like individualization because it gets into the class conflict stuff too, where like those are clearly like upper class passengers that are like in the back there, and they didn't have to deal with it in the same way as like the other passengers. They probably like ran away first and managed to get to the back of the train before anybody else. So I guess we'll start with mine because it's like the most general one, which is the themes of individualization topic. You know, I think it's pretty clear to a lot of people that like the main theme here is going to be selflessness versus selfishness, and there's like a class element to that too, where a lot of the upper class characters like Young Suk, who is the COO guy. I call him asshole executive guy because he's the real villain of the movie. But yeah, like he is the one
It's like
who
The
is.
Walking Dead is not referring to the zombies.
Whoa, it's like a metaphor, man.
Can you do that voice
Sorry.
in every episode now, please? I would appreciate
I'll
that.
find an excuse.
You'll find an excuse. That's gonna be our new Raimi tangent. It's just Evan doing surfer voice.
Oh God.
I'll try to switch up to other voices.
Can we keep doing Raimi?
We can keep doing Raimi. Yeah, so you have a lot of the upper class passengers like Young Suk who are very clearly like selfish and only looking out for themselves, and even going so far as to flex their position by making phone calls and showing other people that they're the only way that they're going to get into the safe zone once they reach there. So it's like, look, I have to survive. There's a lot of that. And then, you know, other characters like Sanghua, who is the husband of the pregnant woman, who are, you know, working class people who are not, they're never depicted as overly righteous or anything, but they do the logical human thing, which is help the person next to you. Like, he's got a pregnant wife to protect, but he's not leaving other people behind as a reason for that. And so there's a very clear and obvious, like, divide between the characters like this. And I think that works well because Seok-woo, the fund manager, his whole character arc is going from essentially COO guy to husband of pregnant woman guy, where he is not just looking out for himself and his own people, but he's looking out for the people around him too, and learning to be less selfish.
I would say it's not quite like you obviously have them as a contrast to him on both ends, but I think he's squarely in the middle because COO guy has a couple of instances where he's screwing someone else over to protect himself. And our main dude doesn't ever really do that. He's looking out for himself and his daughter, so he's very clearly self-interested, but he's not malicious. He's not doing it at the expense of anyone else. He's just not lifting a finger for anyone.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I know it probably wasn't the intention, but at no point did I feel like he would abandon his daughter.
Yeah.
To like save himself.
No, never. COO guy is an extreme. Like, he's the exact worst version of what this guy could become if he doesn't go on this character arc. And I think it's what makes him such a good sort of villain, if there is a villain in this. Like, he kind of is, you know, where he is...
Do we need him?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. And I'll get to why. Because like I said, he is what essentially Seok-woo would become as like the worst version of himself way later on. Like you guys said, he is a little more in the middle. He's not exactly like that level of selfish. He's looking out for himself and he's looking out for his daughter. But I could see him in this way thinking of like, you only look out for your own, like your immediate own. And he even tells her like, you can't be so good in situations like this. You only need to look out for yourself. And I like actually that we don't get a ton of backstory on him. Like, it seems like he's just kind of fallen into like just work culture in general. Like, he got to a higher position in his company and makes decisions that will like benefit him and his family financially, and he thinks that's enough. And his arc is really about understanding that you can do that and give your family a good life while still also looking out for other people. Because like, what are you leaving behind for your kid if you never see them and if all they learn is to look out for themselves entirely?
Dom would be proud.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about family. I don't know what that voice was.
No, that wasn't Vin Diesel, I'll say.
It's all about family. I think I did Andre the Giant for a second.
I was going to say Shaq, but...
I was going to say Casey Affleck. Yeah, man, it's all about family, you know? Me and Ben, you know?
Anyway... But yeah, they make it pretty clear. And he has a really, like, good, clean character. Like, the beginning, he's the kind of guy that's going to shut a door on a pregnant woman. But then, by the end, he kind of realizes that not only is it not going to help them survive any better, but, like, his daughter is disappointed in him. He is, like, the reason she wanted to leave and go be with her mom is because he is honestly a terrible person. The part that I feel like we didn't necessarily need is when we find out that his company is kind of indirectly responsible for the outbreak. Like, he makes a decision at the beginning that I think they are trying to imply is what leads to the outbreak, but I didn't get that the first time. I had to look this up, actually, because I was a little confused. And the timing of it, I think the outbreak would have still happened, because I looked it up. His financial decision is supposedly saving the biotech company that has this leak going on. But even if he hadn't done that, the leak was already happening.
Right,
So
the
the
deer
zombie
gets
stuff
up.
still would have happened. So I don't know why they chose to do it that way. Like they could have switched the order and I would have bought it a little more.
I also didn't understand them not showing like how the outbreak started. It just starts off with because the dude hits the deer with this truck, and I thought maybe his truck is carrying something toxic, and the toxic thing
Yeah,
will leak onto the deer, and that's how the deer got up. They didn't show any of that, so I don't know
yeah.
how it started.
It's very weird. It's a cool, striking opening, but it always confused me too because, like, to me, I feel like if you're gonna do zombie animals, that should also be important, and it just never comes back ever. I don't
Oh
even think it
yeah,
comes back in the sequel, which I haven't seen yet. But from what I understand, I don't think it comes back in that either. So I'm wondering, like, wait, if the
is it
animals are infected, is that where it started?
is it called Train to Busan?
Yeah, I mean, it
I'm
makes sense
sorry.
that we wouldn't see them on the train. I wish it was called Train to Busan. That would be so much better. It's just called Peninsula.
It should have been
Uh,
Wicked 2 good instead of Wicked 4 good. It's the second one. Like, what were they
oh
doing?
yeah,
I agree with you. I agree with you. That would have been great.
yeah.
Oh
And then
man.
in the third one, replace replace the E
With a
with a
3.
3.
Yeah.
Wicked 3 good.
They did this already too, Coming to America.
Coming
Yeah,
to America.
and it was terrible. Anyway,
Yeah,
um,
it was. Although I do like that they named the country that I think Wesley Snipes rules next to Doria. I like that.
I don't think I
It's
ever caught that.
it's very stupid and I appreciate it because that's something that I would do. They do really well with like focusing on just the one character arc and giving him like a believable transition. And the reason I think that we need that executive guy is because like as I said, he's not exactly the same, but he is the exact worst version of himself. So we have that guy and we see the consequences of his actions and how he kind of is what leads to everybody but the main cast getting killed, to be honest with you. Like anybody that's left would have been fine had they just let these people in and stuck together. Him and his selfishness and his like fear mongering is the exact reason why everybody dies
Yeah,
at the end, except for these couple of characters. And we also get a moment where Seokwu like grabs him and like pushes him into the seat. It's him kind of confronting his old self or who
mm.
he
And
could
that's
have
right
could
after our favorite dude dies, right?
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's right after that. And like that by that point they had become friends and they were really helping each other and so it hits him really hard because he's like, "Oh my God, I think in his mind he's like, I could have been the one to do that." Like when he shut the door on him and the pregnant wife at the beginning, that could have been the exact result and then he would have died. A good person would have died because of him. So it's really him like you finally realize like he hates who he was before and he's completely changed and it just works really really well and like I do buy that he would have like sacrificed himself to protect his daughter even at the beginning. I think his instinct would have been less to like fight off the person and more to like get him and just her away, but he's protecting not just her but also the pregnant woman. Like I think
Hmm.
he would have left her behind in order to just save him and his daughter, which is something they go into in a lot of zombie stuff. They refer to it a lot of the time as factionalism, where whatever side is like your family or the person or the side that you find yourself on even, that's what you protect, whether it's like right or it's wrong. So because none of these other people are his people, he decides that they're less important and their lives are less important. He's not thinking about the ramifications of like, what am I showing my daughter, that I'm trying to raise? Like, I'm showing her that you only look out for yourself and that's it. Because that's just the way that he grew up and that's the way that he is.
The version of him at the beginning of this movie wouldn't have put his hand in front of the zombie's mouth
No,
to protect the
never.
pregnant lady.
I don't think
So
so. Like I said, I think he would have gotten out of there well before that. I don't know that he would have gone as far as like the COO did, where he like pushed somebody else in front of the zombie, but he would have dodged around the zombie and left that other person to die.
thrown his daughter into the crowd. Yeah.
I don't think you can make a COO level bad guy. Like, you can't have that be our protagonist because this is happening over one day.
Hmm.
It's too quick
Yeah.
of it's too big of an arc to do on this fast of a timeline. And when you're doing all sorts of other things, like, I think they set him up wisely. Like, it's a big enough jump that you can call it an arc, but it's small enough that you can believe it.
I mean, he's also making the decision to have taken work over her in the beginning anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, taking her over work because he was taking her on the train.
Yeah,
so you can buy the arc from the beginning pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he still wants to be a good dad, at least. Like, he's obviously
just misunderstanding
not living
what
up
that
to
is.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or not putting in the effort is the thing. And so I think they do it all pretty wisely. I don't want to, like, derail the topic too much. Ayo, sorry, train pun. It was inevitable. But we've talked before about do you have to do double the work or half the work with horror characters? I think this strangely gets it down the middle. Like, I don't think it's double. I don't think it's half. But I feel like everyone is, like, they put enough of the right kind of work into it that, like, we're not super invested in anyone. But I think it's important that, like, our main guy is, like, normal in a way that's, like, he's believable more than he's normal, I think. And then our other characters, like our cannon fodder, which of course you need in a zombie movie, they're not like a Final Destination slasher type of cannon fodder where we're cheering for them to die.
Exactly. Everybody's just a regular person, and they usually don't have a lot of character to begin with anyway. Like, they're just background people.
They're already complete. They don't have arcs, most of them.
Yeah. But I think they're smart to also, like, they don't give us, like, a backstory reason to care about any of them, but we do kind of have them all paired off with, like, another person that they're looking out for, which I think kind of covers that base. So we don't have to care about them as an individual, but, like, there's at least another person there to, like, protect them or mourn them or sacrifice themselves for, like, every minor character except the COO.
No, he had the conductor guy. Not the. Yeah, because he threw him out
it was
into
like
the
a conductor.
thing. Yeah,
I think he's a conductor, right?
Yeah, that was
he's a
his
train
boy.
attendant. I'm sorry. Yeah,
That was his
but
best friend. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, his best
saw how he
Which,
treated
and
him.
it's sad
day
because,
one.
like, you can see that guy, like, clearly didn't want to do any of this, but he was in that position where he wanted to be safe too. He felt that pressure, and he just wasn't strong enough to, like, resist the guy who's basically just the loudest in the room.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, technically what he's saying, I guess, kind of makes sense. Like, yeah, we need to protect ourselves, but, you know, he's being an asshole about it. And, like, sacrificing other people.
And there's other versions of this that could give a little more credence to a COO type character, like somebody like him who is like looking out for the collective. By you were kind of talking about it with factionalism a minute ago. Like, there are other setups you can have for a zombie movie where by not looking out for certain people, you are effectively looking out for your own, which always gets into, like, some kind of messy, like, moral ethical territory that can be, like, interesting to play with. I think it's smart that this movie doesn't go there. It keeps it simpler.
Well, what is it saying though about the theme of individualism? You know, is being selfless going to get you killed most of the time? Or is being selfish?
I think in this case it does.
Will that ensure you live as long as possible? Because the CRO is one of the last people to go.
Mm-hmm.
So there are a lot of sacrifices in this movie, but that feel heroic. But it's also like, damn, I ain't trying to go out like that. Maybe I should be selfish. In reality, I like to think I do the right thing, but then I'm just bringing it up to be, you know.
I actually want to quote Evan on this for something.
Okay.
Because
I'm worried for what you're going to quote.
Yeah, no, because actually you made me think of something. Because we were talking about randomly, like, Pirates 3 a few months ago, and that one line that Jack's dad had about living with yourself, like, it's not about living forever, it's about living with yourself forever. I think that's kind of what this movie's doing, where it's a lot less about survival, and it's a lot more about, it doesn't matter if you survive if you can't live with yourself. Like, the guilt does kind of overwhelm Seok-woo once they get to that first station that's, like, overrun, because he initially is going to just leave everybody because he's doing what the COO guy was essentially doing, is, like, using his position to get only him and his daughter to a safe place. And then when he sees the kind of person that he is in her eyes, that's when he really starts to change. Like, obviously they get separated and he has to go rescue them, but by that point, like, that moment really changes him and makes him realize, like, he can't live with himself and who he is and have his daughter see him this way. He needs to make some kind of change. And then that's when you see actions like him working with the husband and like the baseball kid and like working to actually rescue everybody, not just his daughter.
It's going to sound messed up to say, but what I think would have driven that home is if his assistant took his own life. Because that's what I thought was going to happen.
I thought
that
too.
Yeah. When he said it's not Evan, you look really confused.
When he said the assistant, the guy that he's on the phone with.
Yeah, when he said it's not my fault,
the guy who comes
right?
into his office at the beginning. I think Analyst Kim is his name.
Mm-hmm. When he said it's not, like, I thought that would have driven what you're saying now home, is if he couldn't live with the guilt of having a part, having to do with the entire outbreak. That's what I thought would happen.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think that might have been a little far, but I see what you're saying. And I also think the reason they didn't do that is because we're only how would he have known that was going to happen? Like, it wouldn't have affected him because he would have had to see it, and he's not going to see it over the phone.
People find crazy ways. Oh, wait, known what would happen?
Like, that the guy killed himself. Like, the only way
I thought I was going to hear a gunshot.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess I get, but that's a little ambiguous, so, like, that could have been anything, at least to him.
And it's also a character that has mostly just been a voice on a phone. If he shows up visually once, it doesn't matter to the rest of the story, like... because I kind of forgot that was his assistant. Like, it took me a second, and I only saw this movie a few days ago. Like, I do hear what you're saying, but I think he's just a little bit too inconsequential of a figure in the movie to, like, really have anything like that hit for us.
Yeah.
So maybe that guilt should have been a topic with somebody else on the train then.
Could be. Yeah. I mean... I think we were kind of questioning already, like, this whole... And it's not a big threat or anything, but does it really matter that he is the one to, like, or is somewhat responsible for this outbreak? You kind of need that to be a whole other movie. Like, I think it needs to be present, like, for a whole first act before the outbreak even happens to really have that hit home, because we're mostly just seeing this one day. Like, if we saw a few months and saw the decisions that led up to it, then you could maybe take more of that route. I don't think it's bad the way they do it here, but, like, for the way that this is using its runtime, I don't think it makes sense to play up his guilt. I do hear what you're saying a little bit. I wonder if there is a way to make it, like, another character on the train have a guilt thing.
Yeah.
Because it's not really the main character. The daughter... she doesn't say anything about feeling guilty. She's just trying to be a good person. I'd say she's the closest, maybe, but there's not really guilt present. I think it sounded messed up. Now that I'm thinking of what I just said, it sounds messed. It's a movie, guys. Please relax.
No, I think it's... I see what you're saying with it. Like, I can understand you.
I'm saying to the people watching, because I just said somebody should take their own life. But,
I think it does fit thematically. I think it's a route that they probably considered in writing this. And as we're talking about it, I'm thinking that, like, maybe a reason that it's good they didn't go with more of, like, a guilt complex is that maybe that's a little bit thematically, like... going against what it's going for. Like, if the daughter is kind of like the epitome of this theme, where it's just looking out for other people, or a Blue Jacket guy, they aren't doing that out of a sense of guilt or wanting redemption. They're just doing it out of a sense of altruism. Like, and so to have a guilt thing there, like, if he's sacrificing himself at the end as a way of, like, redemption, to me, redemption or, like, gaining forgiveness almost has, like, selfish motivations in some cases. Like, you're
so
kind
you
of
don't
doing
feel
the
bad.
good thing. Yeah, it's because of how it makes you feel. And, like, that's not to undercut what you were saying before, Angel, but, like, in some ways redemption is kind of a selfish thing. Even like it at least comes from a selfish or, like, self-interested place. When you truly gain nothing. And, you know, he has kind of his catharsis at the end, our main guy. And it's still a good thing that he does. But I think, especially with, like, Blue Shirt Guy as comparison, he's not carrying any baggage. He doesn't have, to compare to the train movie we talked about last year.
Baggage.
Baggage too. Didn't think of that one either. But like, think about comparing to like Chris Evans' monologue at the end of Snowpiercer. You could have a moment like that for Blue Shirt Guy where our main dude's like, why are you so like this? And he has this like war backstory where he's like, I let all these people die, I can't do it again, or whatever. He's just doing it because he's a regular dude that is just built like that. And I think that's a more, especially when you have like our protagonist as this like guy who's selfish but relatably so. Like, you wouldn't think he's a jerk if you just met him regularly. You could have a friendly enough conversation, but he's not the guy to like put his life on the line. And he's met with somebody who's also normal and a lot like rougher. I kind of love that he's got this like, I think of it as like an East Coast edge to him, where he's like gonna call you an asshole and like be rough around the edges and make some like kind of mean jokes, but he's always gonna turn up and like knock the shit out of a zombie as soon as one's on you.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
East Coast.
It
Yeah.
says a lot that he somehow feels like a ride or die friend for this main character, even though they start off really hating each other. He knows that this guy's an asshole, but he also knows this guy has a kid, and he's about to have a kid. And, you know, he's not just gonna, like, leave this person behind. And he even empathizes with him, too. If you think about it, like, he has that one line in the bathroom that's really good, where he's basically like, dads get all the shit and none of the praise. When she's older, she'll understand why you worked so hard. So he has thought about this too, and he kind of like understands the position this guy's in. He's giving him enough of the benefit of the doubt to be like, I don't think that you're like a bad person, but you're making shitty decisions and I'm going to call you out on it. Like, he's a character that I feel like you need in every horror movie. Besides just the fact that he's awesome. Like,
I mean, he also provides like the only moment of levity in this movie whatsoever. I think that was the only scene where I chuckled twice, and then the rest, my heart was beating.
There's a few that are good. I love his juxtaposition with like him being all tough and gruff and like kind of funny, but then he's just like the sweetest guy in the world with his wife who actually scares him.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's very cute. I like that a lot.
Yeah, like that kind of character work. Again, we don't have like a ton of backstory with him or anything, but it's doing the job. Like, it's almost making me rethink our whole half or double like binary for this kind of character web. Like, maybe this is, I don't know if it's double the work, but it's the right amount. It's a smart amount of work, and it pays off.
Also, the ending of this is the opposite of spoilers. Circle, which I find funny. Okay.
I was also thinking of Circle.
Circle? Oh, wait. I think I know what you're talking about. I haven't seen it.
We did that as an episode years ago, and I was thinking the same thing. It's like, oh, yeah, you get down to the same two people at the end. The pregnant woman and the 10-year-old.
Yep. Oh, shit. That's crazy.
And it's even a girl in Circle, too.
3 people, because there's a baby in there.
Oh, right? Yeah, well, it does the same thing in Circle as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm really surprised that they didn't have her, like, to add to stress, like, give birth during the movie.
God.
Yeah.
She was close in the tunnel when they approached the tunnel.
That would have been too much. I'm glad that they didn't do that, because that would have just been like yet another thing, and I feel like it would have just been to add stress to the situation. You know what I'm saying?
John Krasinski and Emily Blunt came up to the director and they were like, "Hey, I know you've got this idea, but look, we're gonna make the shit out of that scene in a couple of years. So just let us have this one, okay?"
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, wasn't A Quiet Place before this?
No. It was 2 years after.
2 years after. Yeah.
Quiet Place was 2022.
Yep. No, Quiet Place was 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And then
so
Quiet
wasn't this
Place
2020?
2...
No,
this is 2016. Oh, I confused you. So the sequel came out in 2020.
Oh, the sequel was 2020.
I didn't see this until I think 2020, maybe 2019, because I don't know if the sequel had come out yet. This came out in like 2016. So it's relatively recent, but now I just realized that's 9 years ago, and I'm sad.
Oh my god.
I hate everything. Anyway, getting back to the depression that is the zombie movie that we're talking about instead of time. Yeah, so I'm good on this if we want to move on to the next one. Jelani, do you want to get to yours first?
Yeah, we can chug right through this.
Trains.
Okay, my topic is the train as a setting. I love when movies take place in or around a train. Thomas the Tank Engine, currently behind Angel,
Well,
was
this
my
is
favorite.
James. This is
Yeah,
James.
yeah. The series was my favorite thing growing up, so that should track. I should have just filled my whole topic with train puns. They use just about everything one can surrounding trains with this premise in mind. Spared no expense. I love Bullet Train for the many same reasons, because in that movie they could get outlandish with it, like chasing each other on top of or outside of the train and whatnot. So they use laboratories.
I like the way you said it first time, though. Laboratories.
Now we will only say laboratories.
I'm thinking of how Dexter says laboratory.
My
Yeah, and
laboratory.
now you need to use the Dexter voice for the whole rest of the episode.
I will not. Car doors. They use the car doors to the advantage and disadvantage of the cast, especially when the three dudes need to reach a certain car, meaning they had to force and outsmart their way through the zombies. The train station used at the midpoint. It's a whole set, a train set.
Oh. Look at him go. 3 for 3.
The runaway train twice, as they tried to catch one at the midpoint, and then at the very end with the zombies slowing the engine down. You had a flaming train that was spooky to see. I don't know what it is about an apocalypse movie and there being something on fire heading towards, like some sort of vehicle on fire heading towards people. It's kind of freaky.
There's also the wide shot of like just smoke and like a random explosion, and I'm always like, but how? Like, does it?
There's some good disaster shots in this. Like at the beginning when they're in the car and we don't see the building, we see the reflection of the building in the window. And the whole like 10th floor or whatever is on fire.
Yeah, it's on fire.
Or like the 50th floor maybe. I don't know how big the building is, but yeah, it looks crazy.
I don't think zombies know how to cook. Train station using midpoint, flaming train, the train derailment. Gotta have a train derailment in a train-based movie. Always.
Yeah.
The luggage crawl scene was brilliant. I've never seen that before. That was
really cool.
Really creative.
My parents did point out something though, like how did they not collapse? It's not meant to hold that much human weight. I said maybe the kid could do it. Like I think the kid would be fine. I think everybody else no.
I believe that. I thought it was gonna fall because of the creaking, and it just added more tension to the scene. I'm glad they didn't. Plot armor, but whatever. Even the windows were used as a looming threat tactic because the zombies could have bursted through at any moment, as seen multiple times throughout the film. Only thing missing. They used every part of the train except maybe a bridge scene. And an uncoupling scene.
I was thinking about uncoupling is like the one thing.
I'll give them a pass because it was established in the dialogue that the conductor said at the midpoint station that they couldn't do it. So this was just an excuse for me to geek out.
They kind of have it hanging off the train scene too at the end, and then when he's trying to when they're jumping back on the train and he's trying to pull the guy back in, that kind of counts too.
Yes. You got to have a running to catch it on the platform.
That's what I was saying. Runaway train.
Yeah, they did do that. It was really good. It uses the setting so well, honestly. It's not exactly because it's a big enough setting that it's not exactly like the bottle episode of movies, but it's limiting enough where you do have to get kind of creative with it, and I think that they do use it really well. Like I think that the fact that they established that like they can't get off the train because everywhere's overrun except potentially for that last station. It's spreading so fast that like the train itself is also not safe. So there's always tension no matter what, but there are like safe spots where they can catch their breath. They just like, it's not as simple as like, oh, we're going to stop the train and just get off and get to a safe place somewhere else. Like they tried that and it legitimately just didn't work. And like you said, they get creative with where on the train they are. They hide in the bathrooms. They, crawl on the luggage rack. They use the tunnels to get around the zombies and shit like that. Like it's really cool. It's a really fun setting.
I thought about it at the beginning, and I thought it would be a problem because I was asking it at the beginning, like, what is the scale of the train? But it wasn't really a problem for me. They only established what's needed as far as where they are, especially at the midpoint where they're like, okay, we're in car 9, we got to get to, or they're in
the car 15. Like, we know how many cars they have to get up, so we can kind of track their progress a little bit. And even then, they play with it. Like, I don't think we see them go through 6 cars.
I'm okay with that.
That's okay. They skip some, but we know, like, oh, this is a Herculean task for them to get through.
Snowpiercer, though, they don't get that pass.
No. We talked about it in the Snowpiercer episode, right? How, like, we just don't understand the logic of the train itself. Like, every car feels very gimmicky. And, like, where do people sleep?
Here. Yeah. You could have had, like, a cafe car. I'm okay that they didn't. Just, like, in terms of a logical, like, regular-ass train. Like, you could have, like, a business section and a cafe car, and that's about it.
You see somebody sitting at a table, their back is to us, and they're just twitching, and they got a newspaper in their hand. You're like, are they a zombie, or are they just tweaking?
And then they go, ah!
Yeah.
What about my generous proposal?
There it is.
They do actually have a good scene at the beginning. They play with expectations really well, because the girl's in the bathroom, the first zombie, and you think that they're going to open the door, and then it's a homeless man who we have not talked about, but I like him a lot. He's really good in this movie. But they don't give him a name.
I just see him as the old guy who, like, foretells of the forthcoming evil trope. That's all I see him as.
He is a little tropey.
Yeah, a little bit. But also at the same time, like, I think it also establishes, like, because he's kind of saying something is wrong, but I think it says a lot about how, like, everybody immediately dismisses him because he is, I guess to them, the kind of guy that you would not immediately listen to. Like, you would think he's just losing it a little bit in the bathroom of the train.
Would you, Angel, on the subway?
What's that?
On the subway, would you? No,
would I listen to? Honestly, no, probably not. But in this case, it shows, like, it works with the themes really well, because it shows, like the class themes, because it's like, he's right. And if they had just listened, maybe they would know that. I
would find it hilarious if your last thoughts after getting, God forbid, eaten by a zombie are, damn, was I classist to that homeless man who was warning us about
No, honestly, my last thought would be, my face!
I think it'd be funnier if there was something way more trivial.
Did I leave the stove on?
Yeah. But wait, what was in the briefcase in Pulp Fiction, though? Like, we never found out.
If it's not butter, what is it?
If it's not butter, what is it? Oh my god.
Okay, I'm not going to top that one.
No, there's no way. Evan, do you have anything to say about trains?
No, largely, you guys have pretty much said... I need a sec after that.
Sorry, you guys... wait. Sorry, there's no running on top of the train scene either. We never get that.
Yeah, but the zombies do jump on top of it. We at least get that visual.
Sure. Yeah.
And also, like, I don't know if we've also seen it in enough other train movies, like
I don't think
Wolverine,
I'd buy it in
Mission Impossible.
No, I wouldn't buy it at all. No.
I wouldn't, yeah. The one thing, you guys made all the points basically that I was going to, like, yes, they really take advantage of the setting. I think it's smart that they limit themselves to one, like, getting off at a station sequence. Like, you want to get out of the train for part of it. I think it's good that they do it. I think it's also good that they only do it once. You want most of the movie to be on the train, and they use it to their advantage with, like, we're getting off of the train and we can have a sequence there, but then also when they get back on, they're separated, so it, like, gets us out of the stasis. And if we're okay with transitioning, that can transition us well into my topic.
I was going to say, I think this transitions really well into your topic, yeah.
Yeah. So my topic is keeping your characters in a horror situation. So a lot of horror movies have to deal with this. You basically have to just ask the question, how do you keep the characters alive, but also keep the threat present? Is like a constant balance that you have to strike. And we've already talked about the train setting being very helpful with that. Like, you can keep the zombies in proximity, but you give the living characters at least temporary safety. And they, like I was just pointing to, they take advantage of it by having living characters separated by a ton of zombies, and just like pacing wise, just you have a respite between train cars, so that like just allows you to like have ebbs and flows.
It sequences it out a little bit.
Yeah.
Like it helps separate.
I'll throw in more of mine later. How do you guys feel like this does with striking that balance of like the characters are always in danger, but they like we believe that they are surviving it?
I think it does it well. I think it does it at appropriate times. There was never a moment of like, okay, this is too much. Can I get a second to breathe? Like I think it's just naturally paced really well, as far as action and then moment to breathe, action, moment to breathe. I think it works.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. It can be really hard to logically make a situation dangerous enough, but also like, as inescapable enough that like the setting makes sense too. And I think that does it really well here. One of my biggest things with horror movies has always been, why don't the characters just leave? Because I feel like that's one of the biggest arguments, especially when you get to things like slasher movies, like, or haunted house movies. Like, oh, if you just walk outside, you're not in the scary place anymore, and then everything's done. And it was actually something I thought about when coming up with a horror script that I'm writing right now. It would make sense about like, oh, something scary is going on now. Why don't you just go literally anywhere else, right? And I think the key to that is that you either make it so that they can't leave, which is kind of what they do here, because they establish like, oh, even if you get off at these other stations, it doesn't matter because nowhere is safe at this point.
Too far.
The outbreak has spread too far. And even within the train, too, like, you still have to keep moving, which is keeping up the tension, too, because most of the cars appear to be overrun. Like, they have to get through some of the zombies to get to their loved ones and everything at one point, which is good, because it means they have to move up and down the train. Like, it logically makes sense that they are constantly in danger. They're never at a point where they're in a safe place forever. But in this case, yeah, I think it works really well. And even then, when they get to the end, the tension is kept up because the enemies are now no longer the zombies, it's humanity. Because now mob mentality has dictated that all of them are going to go and kick the rest of them out of the train to, like, keep from getting infected, even though it's clear that they're not. And then it comes back to literally bite them, because then the old lady's like, oh, you guys are just assholes. I'm just going to open the door now, and all of us are going to die.
I usually hate mob mentalities in movies too, but it doesn't overstay its welcome in this.
No, not at all. Yeah, and that's such a big thing in a lot of these movies too. Like they overdo it.
This could devolve into that, and other zombie movies do.
Yeah,
I'm glad it only does it for that one sequence, and it does irritate me, but it's only one scene, so it's not too bad.
Yeah. You touched on making it so they can't leave, which should be the case for most horror movies, because I was thinking about, I don't know if it's done in Oculus, but I'm just thinking of the premise to where it's like the person, I don't know if it happens in the movie, but like I feel like it could, to where like the person thinks they're leaving, but they're actually doing something else, which is freaky.
It does actually happen in that, from what I remember. Yeah, and that's why it works so well, like where they can't even tell if they're, out of the situation, because their perception of reality is now warped. Also, another thing in that movie that's a good example is like they know something, or at least one of the characters knows and has accepted that something crazy and supernatural is going on, and they're deliberately going back to that place, which is something that I feel like we don't see enough, where they know full well that something weird and crazy is going on, but they're going there for a specific goal. So until they achieve that goal, they refuse to leave. So it's like a deliberate decision. Instead of just something happening around them and they're just not listening to anybody, then it's hard to be on their side, because they're just being stupid.
Yeah, I was thinking about Nope as having a good solution to this, where like, so you've got an alien thing, big monster, that's living over your house. Why wouldn't you leave? Well, they make a pretty clear reason in that movie of like, well, we want to capture this thing and monetize it. So you have a very clear reason why they're not, like, survival isn't the only goal in that case.
Also, it could just gobble them up.
Yeah, it could. Yeah, but they did give a reason, and you could even argue it's a dumb reason, but it works with the themes of the movie.
Yeah, and I think they establish it well there. I think for a case like Nope, that's a solution you can have. If you don't have that and it's only survival, then you have to do a lot more work like this movie does. Because you guys were kind of pointing to, like, you kind of run into two major problems when you don't strike that balance. One is the cliche of the character just has to be stupid so that they stay in the room with the monster instead of just walking out the door or whatever. Barbarian. But I think the other problem you run into is making, like, a Scooby-Doo villain where the characters are doing everything they can to escape, or, like, maybe the situation is bad enough that they can't escape the monster, but then the monster's just stupid. Action movies have this problem, too.
Oh, okay. I was wondering where you were going with that.
Like the monster's incompetent.
One of my least favorite tropes in action movies, and, like, horror movies have this problem, too, which is why I mention it, is the villain is incredibly powerful in their first scene, and then the heroes show up and, they can't aim. Like, it happens, unfortunately, frequently. And you can get away with that in Scooby-Doo, because it's Scooby-Doo. It can do that. You can't get away with it in Suicide Squad, or X-Men Apocalypse, or Desolation of Smaug.
Or, if they leave, they die. Circle.
Yeah, you can have a containment thing like that, too. Or, you can use weather as a containment, like, I'm not, are there horror movies? Well, I guess Krampus does that. We just watched that a few weeks ago.
Oh, you know what also did that recently? Spoilers a little bit for Until Dawn, the movie, but they kind of do something similar to that in Until Dawn also. They have like an environmental reason why they can't leave the space that they're in, which is it's weirdly done in that, but it does happen a lot.
The train setting kind of helps and hurts a little bit in this regard, because, like, one thing that you can kind of lean on with some zombie movies, like, I'm thinking of World War Z, has, like, they go to some city, I think, that has a wall up to protect from the zombies. And, like, that's kind of a moment of respite where they are safe for a little bit, but then it gets overrun just because too many
zombies pile. Yeah.
Or so, I forget if there's some other reason that it happens in that. But, like, that's a thing you can do in basically any zombie movies. Just like, this place that was safe, well, now the zombies got here, so it's not. And you have that in this movie, because they're always one car away, but they never really have zombies, like, get onto the train from an external source, aside from the, like, first time that they do that. Afterwards, it's like...
Yeah, and then even from the train station, they try to do that a little bit too, but it doesn't really happen.
Yeah, it's not like there's more zombies on the train after, at least not a meaningful amount. I don't think a single extra one goes on there. It's just, like, adding the mechanic. Like, it escalates the tension in more interesting ways by separating the characters and having the zombies between them. I think that's much better than, like, now there's more of them. We already had an uncountable amount of zombies.
Yeah.
Like, adding to that, it's like, okay. It's just like adding henchmen. Like, is there really a difference between 15 henchmen and 50? Not when there's one hero. Materially, there's really not a difference.
And not in a limited space either, because, like, you get to some of these cars and, like, there's maybe 10 zombies in there total, but it's enough that, like, yeah, it's dangerous. Like, even one in there is a problem, because they don't kill any of them. They have to fight them off and push them away.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and that's also an interesting, like, constraint that we mentioned it already, but, like, this movie has the constraint of, like, safety is not gained by killing zombies. It is always, like, separating yourself from them in some way. You can never double tap and, okay, that one zombie that got onto your car is dead now and not a threat. Like, they never kill a zombie in this movie, which is an interesting challenge.
It is, yeah.
Honestly, this movie could be rated PG if you think about it, you know?
There's no deaths. Nobody actually dies.
Yeah, no, everybody just gets turned into a zombie, really. Like, nobody gets brained either.
A lot. They bleed a lot, but they're okay. It's
Transformers
fine.
bleed.
No one even gets hit by a train. Actually, a train does fall on somebody, but it happens off screen, so it's okay.
Yeah, that's a Disney villain death. It's not any worse than
when does the train fall on
Hunchback.
somebody?
Well, so when the homeless guy saves them, and he's under the tree, he's pushing the zombies away so that the kid and the pregnant woman can get away, and then the train falls after they get out of there, so it, like, collapses on him.
I can suspend disbelief that they survive as long as they do, because there are several nameless characters, even at the midpoint station, that are killed. So the people we're following happen to be at the right places at the right time to survive. So I can believe that. And then until they aren't at the right place at the right time.
And then they die anyway. Like, yeah, I agree though. It works really well. Everything's constantly moving too, so keeping them in the situation like just works.
I'm glad you guys said that, because I forgot. I did have one more note that I didn't get to. I think there is a utility in this case of having a lot of characters to die, because you can have like sequences where the danger still feels real because named characters, or like, ones we are following, die, and you can like keep the danger close and keep the stakes real. I think that's often a thing that frustrates me in a more Scooby-Doo like horror movie, where, oh my god, this harrowing situation, but we're all fine. So is it really that dangerous? We all got out of like 6 different scary things, and now it's the climax, so whoa, I don't know. Are they going to do it this time? I think it makes it feel... And also, like, it's a bit of a simple mechanic, but just, like, it escalates the stakes because it's basically blob tag in any zombie movie. There's less people on your team, and anytime there's less people on your team, it means there's more on the other team. The balance is only going to shift to be worse. You can't gain more humans. Yeah, did you ever play that as a kid? Where, like, you tag someone and now you're running around together, and then it finishes when you tag everyone.
Nope. I have freeze tag.
I feel like blob tag was a staple in gym, along with freeze tag.
Wait, are you talking about tag? Like you tag somebody, then they're also it, and it's like spreading zombies, or do you have to hold on to each other?
I think it depends on the version, but I think usually you're in a group. But it's the same like logic. Or if you want, whatever, you guys know what I'm talking about.
I know what you mean, because now you've explained it.
I've played tag to where like you have a growing number of like taggers.
Yeah, exactly, but not the holding one. That's interesting.
I thought that was like a recess staple. I remember that being played in multiple schools and states that I lived in. So I just thought that was
running arm in arm. I never did that.
I mean, when I was a kid, everyone just played baseball at recess except me, because I was bad at it.
Get good, Angel. Come on. You didn't want to play baseball?
I don't
know
like
if you can be my co-host anymore. You don't like baseball? Delani doesn't like baseball either, so it's...
I don't sport, Evan.
I don't like kickball.
Dude. Okay, now you are actually off.
Kickball I do like, because I could play kickball. I didn't have to try to hit the ball.
I could never kick well.
Kickball's the best, man. I miss kickball so much.
Sorry, nope.
So, our next episodes, we're going to finish out this year's horror cycle with Sinners. At some point after it comes out, we're going to do Wake Up Dead Man. And then as a main episode, we're going to do The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey, if people are willing to tough that out with us. And if you're willing to tough it out even more, we're going to be doing Desolation of Smaug and Battle of Five Armies as a joint Patreon episode. We're only doing 2 episodes, because that's how many parts you should make a Hobbit adaptation. So that'll be coming up. We have new videos on the main channel. I had a 15-minute video that I made, or no, I think it's only 10, about Challengers. That's up there. And then last night I put up a solo review of Wicked for Good. You can follow the show on Instagram and Blue Sky at INT Analysis Pod. And wherever you're listening to us, Spotify, YouTube, make sure to subscribe there. Also, like, I hate to like do the cliche of like hit the bell, but I have been looking at our numbers, and I know that the new episodes in some cases are not being spread to all of our subscribers. So like subscribing clearly is not enough if you want to stay updated. So like whatever extra step makes the most sense for you, like do not trust the algorithm to put it in front of you, because I have numerical evidence that it's not doing that for all of our subscribers.
I mean, I've missed out on videos I didn't know dropped either.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, it's been very finicky with us, so...
I knew about our Wicked review mainly because, like, I have notifications for the channel on my other account. So, if you click the bell, you can do all notifications, and you'll know about everything. So
yeah, and I put everything on our Blue Sky account if you're there, and we do put stuff on the Instagram. So like those are all ways to do it. I am on Instagram and Blue Sky and Letterboxd at ev_Wes. Where are you guys?
I'm on Instagram at Jelani T. Kelly, steadily growing. Now, I try to get Instagrams on every new set I'm on, and I'm sure I'll gain followers once my projects actually, drop. Waiting on a couple of things there. And maybe Letterboxd soon. Maybe for all the people
you have to make a letterbox, man.
that have been pressuring me, maybe that'll be my Christmas gift to all of them or a New Year's resolution. Okay.
If you don't, we're going to do it for you and then make reviews for you, and you don't want that.
I'm just going to find more of our friends who also have accounts, and like enough of us will gang
have
up
them
on
message.
you.
You're just going to have them message. Start
I already got Chase on you, so...
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Oh, I'm on Instagram at AngelsArc15, and I'm on Letterboxd at Serenity Cinema. I keep talking about posting more reviews on Letterboxd, and I haven't done it yet.
Oh, so it's not that good, huh?
Nuh-uh, it's good. I post what I watch. I just don't write out entire reviews for everything. Like, I will. And then you can read them only if you get a letterbox, Jelani.
All right. Cool. Then thank you all for listening, and we'll see you next time with Sinners.
I'm going to leave you with this. What was the baby's name? Okay, bye.
I forgot.
I forgot too.
I don't think he said anything.
No, he did. He named the baby before he died. I just forgot what it is.
He said the baby's name, and then it skipped, and he said got it?
No, he says it. Oh, I think your version... I think your playback skipped then, because he says the name.
I don't remember it, but he does.
I don't remember the name, but he definitely says it.
He's a good dad.
The baby's name is Sleepy. All right, bye, guys.
All right, goodbye.
Bye.